Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back. This is I Allegedly, and I've got a good one for you today. We're going to talk about something very bad, and that is people are skipping meals right now just to get by. And there is a lot to cover in this video. And please like, subscribe. And today we have a sponsor, Patriot Gold. But let's get right into it. This is wild, guys. Think about this. Never in history has it been this bad. Even during the last economic slowdown of 2008, 9, 10, 11, 12. You have more people with percentage-wise that are admitting that they're skipping meals right now just to get by financially because housing is their biggest expense. Everything has gone up dramatically. Housing basically, with most people, covers 49% of their budget right now. That is insane, guys. People can't afford this right now. So with 49% of your house is going towards rent, your house payment, things like that, people just cannot get by right now. Now, 24% of these people said that they have had to skip meals just to get by and pay the rent. And, that's terrible, guys. Now you can sit there and say, well, Dan, you give financial advice and you're talking about, cutting back and living on a budget. Yes, you should. You absolutely should. But if you're that strapped, there's a problem, guys. There's a huge problem. Now, 23% of the people that they surveyed for this said that not only do they skip meals, but they've had to sell things in a panic, in a rush, which means generally when you do that, you're not getting the best deal for yourself and for the value of whatever you're selling is because you're unloading it quickly. So 23% of those people did that. I'm telling you guys, you have to get ahead of things. It's, when you are rehabilitating and they say, hey, get ahead of the pain and make sure you don't have the pain during this and do the exercises and do everything, you've got to get ahead of the financial pain right now. And I had a friend reach out because his son works at a restaurant and he said, I really want your opinion on this, if my son's the problem or if they're just nitpicking the kid. And he explained the situation where he got written up again. And he says he thinks that they don't like him and that they're just trying to single him out. And, he wants to talk to you. And I said, have him call me. So he said, let me explain it to you first. And you tell me what you think. And the situation was, the latest one was, walks into a restaurant that he's working at and goes into his section. Waiters, waitresses have their section. And there was a table that had a table full of food. And it was in his section. And then waited a few minutes. They had drinks. Everything was just poured. Food on the table. And then walked over about 15 minutes later. Hey, how's it going? Just want to check in with you guys. She said, hey, it's about time you got here. What are you doing? Ignoring us? What's going on? And come to find out it was the chef's friends that came there to eat, and the chef brought them all out food to give them food in advance of them ordering. So he maybe stupidly assumed that these people had already been taken care of when he started his shift. Didn't ask. But they wrote him up for that and sent him home at the end of, he finished a few tables. They sent him home. And I told him, get out of there. They don't want your son around this place. But your son needs this job to pay his bills. And he needs to get himself ready for this. And I've talked about jobs I've been fired from and the glee of leaving and the glee of being successful afterwards. It's great. But I'm telling you guys, the world is full of difficulty right now. Nothing is easy. Ask the people that work at Volkswagen, hello, take a 20% pay cut. No, okay? It's not fair. Doesn't make it right. But are there nitpicking jerks out there? 100%. 100%. So I'm telling you guys, the economy is not good right now. Somebody sent me an article about how great gas prices are, and they're under $3. Great, nothing's getting shipped. Nothing's moving. The amount of gas that's being purchased right now is off. Why is that? I don't know. Maybe people have no frickin' money right now. That's it. Now, think about this. One thing that people write me, it's been about a month since I've gotten one of these extensive emails. We need to take these vacant office buildings and convert them to condos and have people buy them. Every time they've done this, it's cost more money to live in these places than it does in an apartment down the street. There's that. Number two, the communities, organizers that run homeless communities and things like this fleece the system. And the latest condo project in Los Angeles that just did this, basically it's $700,000 to live there, or $3,300 a month to rent. Okay, I don't know of any homeless people that have that. You wouldn't be homeless if you had $3,300 a month. You could go rent a room in a nice house. So there's that. Shopping malls are being converted to living spaces. It's kind of weird, but that's what they're doing. There's 192 malls that are planning on converting them to living spaces. Now, of the 192 malls that have been converted to living spaces, you've got 33 that have actually done it right now, that people are living in right now. So is it great? Do they like it? I mean, you know, you got the Foot Locker down the way, and then you got, you know, the gym, you know, so who knows if this is going to work or not. So people need to get themselves a second gig. They need to get themselves money right now to survive, because it's only going to get worse. My son is a waiter also, and he's, you know, has 2 jobs. Hey, Dad, I'm thinking about stepping up and getting rid of this one place, and another high-end place is open, and because he's worked at high-end restaurants, they have certain requirements and shenanigans and things like that. Go ahead, son, go do it. Go do it now while you can. Maybe you can get hired before New Year's Eve. So, a lot more to cover. Let's talk about our sponsor, Patriot Gold Group. Think about this. Donald Trump's headed back to office, and we're going to see big changes when it comes to our economy. And he has talked about tariffs. And the one thing that you need to know is that the BRICS nations and all these people that could be hit with tariffs as high as 100% are going to be good for one thing, and that is gold. These countries know it as well, because they're stacking up on gold right now. So contact #1 rated Patriot Gold Group, 888-330-1431. People think buying gold is difficult. It is not. Go with someone who's got great customer service, got great pricing. Contact Patriot Gold today. Look at what Goldman Sachs just said, and they think that gold could hit $3,150 an ounce in the coming months. You do not want to miss out on this. They have IRAs and 401ks. Contact them today. Do it now before it's too late. If you don't want to call, use the link below, fill it out. They will send you out an investor guide. It's absolutely no obligation. But the best thing to do is call them at 888-330-1431. They will answer all your questions. They're #1 rated for a very good reason. But look what's going to happen. Gold is going to shoot up, and you don't want to miss out on this. Contact Patriot Gold today. We've all done charity work. We've all done nice things for people. We've all helped people that had less than us. There is something that I am so furious about, and this is why I pulled over to even film this video this morning, and that is, there is people that from a school district in, I got to get the county right, in Waldorf, Maryland, from the Charles County Public School District. Now, what these people do is they help disabled kids with disabilities. Don't know the extent of that, but they were going to have a field trip to help these kids assimilate and learn what it's like to be in the real world and take them to a frickin' Cracker Barrel. Okay? Now, I love hillbillies. Generally, they're nice people, and generally they're great. And a lot of hillbillies work at Cracker Barrel. Well, this Cracker Barrel turned these kids away. They called in advance and said, hey, listen, we've got a large group. Yeah, you don't need reservations. Just come on in. Don't worry about it. And they refused to serve these kids because they had disabilities. They belong in hell for that, okay? Now, you don't understand, sir. We can't handle a table of 18. No, you could handle 3 tables of 6 in a second. People were set after these people, and these poor kids, think about this, the highlight of their lives was a field trip to Cracker Barrel, and they got shunned. You know, Cracker Barrel did such crap earlier this year, and I went there, and they treated people horribly, and wouldn't seat certain people, and it was awful, and I'll pull the video back up. But this is nonsense. What is wrong with you people? Think about this. Every one of us in our lives that have an extended family and have people around us have got a cousin's brother's friend that has a kid with disabilities. Somebody You play baseball and they put the kid with disabilities on your team. What do? Shun him and say he's not allowed to sit in the dugout with you guys and go to practice? No, it's terrible. Now, Cracker Barrel turned these kids away, made them order to-go orders, and then brought other people in and set them around them. Is that sick? Is that terrible? So screw Cracker Barrel, okay? I hate Cracker Barrel right now. And they need to be shunned right now for this. And they listen, we just didn't plan on having a group of this size. Who cares? Who cares? Now, here's where it gets worse. Cracker Barrel wrote the school district, wrote them a letter to say, hey, can you take us off this list? We don't want to be part of this group of people. We can't handle stuff like this. Again, if you brought a relative in that had a disability and they treated you like this, how would you do it? Now, how would you feel about kids that they are strong enough and smart enough that they can go on field trips, they can get together in a group, and they're trying to get their lives in order to become adults? And you want to tell them that, no, not here, not in frickin' Cracker Barrel, okay? The nicest thing in Cracker Barrel were those kids. Don't ever forget that complete S-hole. And again, the private channel that I have, that's where the boom, 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 okay? But this sucks. And Cracker Barrel, and the CEO is quiet, doesn't say a word about this. Oh, it was just one store that did this. It's no big deal. No, it's ridiculous, okay? Frickin' hillbillies, come on. I love hillbillies because they're the most polite people in the world. Yes, sir, no, ma'am. The last time I went to a Cracker Barrel, hey, you're Dan, and recognized me, and it was great, okay? But again, to do this to these kids, again, trying to build their lives up, trying to build self-confidence, trying to do this. If you had a young child that was shunned for some stupid reason, you would freak out if it was in your life. You'd show up there. These poor kids were shunned at a frickin' Cracker Barrel. Think about that, okay? Don't eat here. You're trying to build people's lives and trying to get better. I have a friend of mine who's going to be the CFO of my new company, and she is on the board of she was on the board of directors for a company called Elwyn. Elwyn was a charity that would help people with disabilities get jobs, place them with places, and they would have success stories. But every year, I got roped into doing the bowl-a-thon and helping to raise money and having our team lose every year because I'm not a good bowler and neither is anybody else that we could get. But the point was that we did all this stuff. But what Elwyn did is Elwyn would go out to companies that want to work in the United States and say, you want manufacturing here? We will help you assemble products. And then they would come in and pitch the disabled adults and say, can you put this together? Can you do this, this, and this? Can you take the hose nozzle, put it in the plastic, and then put it in the box so we don't have to pay for that and save ourselves some money? But they paid these kids to do this. It was a great way to help these people, because the success story was these people would go get jobs. They could go work and answer the phone at a store. They could go and box groceries. They could go do things. But you're going to tell me that these people can't eat in a Cracker Barrel? I mean, I'm fuming right now over this. I'm so pissed off. So please, again, the nicest thing in Cracker Barrel is not that scrawny fried chicken that everybody, you see all the pictures on the freeway. It's like somebody should sue them for that, because what you see on the freeway is nothing that shows up on your plate, okay? Okay, I lost it on this one. Let me know, okay, what you think about that. But again, the nicest thing in Cracker Barrel were those disabled kids. Don't ever forget that. I'm going to finish this video with these last couple stories, and hackers have put spyware on over 8 million phones, they think. And the worst thing about this, and the problem that you have with this, is it's designed to get your banking information. So again, talked about this yesterday, be very leery of what you click on. Be very leery of text messages. Be very leery of things that look like they're from your bank. Call your bank, your financial institution, anywhere. Be very, very cautious of this. And again, I was in a Chase Bank about 2 weeks ago, and a woman said, hey, I want to have questions about the app, and will you walk me through it? And they walked her through how to use it and how this is from us and this is not from us. So that's great. Now, if you can do that, go do it, guys. Go do it, because it's just too much right now. Comerica Bank, they're getting sued by the feds right now because of excess fees. Now, if you bank at Comerica Bank, you know, think about this. Do you have any overdraft fees? Do you have any things that you shouldn't, that you thought were, that's kind of an unjust fee? Well, they're getting sued for that stuff right now. So go and ask for that money back before, because you can wait 6 years and then get a refund. Look at this big fat squirrel right here. Squirrel's got it made. Hey, Chunkster. Look at that. So, anyways, Comerica Bank's got real problems. And, you know, a lot of problems with real estate that you're going to see. We're going to talk a lot more about this. And on Friday, there was a big rig that was traveling in the East Bay section of San Francisco, going over Highway 580, and they had a problem, and the big rig caught fire. It was carrying 30,000 pounds of chocolate, and the chocolate melted all over the highway. So it made a slippery, gooey mess, and nobody had s'mores. So isn't that wild to think about? So 30,000 pounds of chocolate. I wonder what that costs. Wonder what it's worth right now. Well, that shipment's going to be a big insurance claim, to say the least. So it's funny. All my manufacturing friends say the same thing to me, and they tell me, "Oh yeah, it's just an insurance claim. Oh yeah, like if something goes wrong. Oh, how'd that order turn out? Oh, it was bad. It's a big insurance claim." So please hit the like button, guys. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you soon.